Welcome to Beyond the Glory, the podcast that takes you deeper into the untold stories, raw moments, and defining victories that shape the world of sport. I'm your host, John Walland, and each fortnight I bring you candid conversations with athletes, coaches, and trailblazers who go beyond the headlines to reveal the real grind behind the glory. If you enjoy what you hear, make sure to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps us grow and keeps these incredible stories coming your way. Don't forget to follow Beyond the Glory on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more ways to connect with the show. And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, tag us, or join the conversation wherever you're listening or watching. Let's go beyond the glory together. Wow, a very, very special guest on Beyond the Glory today, from the rugged training yards of Uppington to the thunderous roar of Sacramento's final stage. Today, Beyond the Glory makes history alongside the man who, I suppose you could say, redefined strength, and that's exactly what he did. He's not just Africa's son. He's the world's strongest man, nogal, the first African champion to ever lift that coveted title, an engineer of power, a warrior of will, and a beacon of what's possible when talent meets tenacity. From scrum battles in rugby to pulling trucks and hoisting Atlas stones, Rein O'Neill has forged a new legacy, that's for sure, keeping the flag flying for South Africa in incredible fashion, and doing it in style as well. This is not just muscle. This is real mindset. It's not just history. This is his story. Reino, welcome to Beyond the Glory with yourself, the world's strongest man. What an absolute pleasure. I would really like to find out, first of all, how's everything sunk in for you? It's unbelievable. I know you're a very modest guy, but unbelievable. It's a dream come true for you, I would imagine, and in a relatively short time as well.
Yeah, thank you first of all so much for having me on. It is a dream come true. It's something that I thought I'd work a lot more years for. Not that I've not worked hard for the years that I've been doing it, but yeah, it honestly I have not sunk in 100% yet.
What was life like growing up, and how did your environment shape your mindset and resilience?
Yeah, I had a pretty normal life growing up. I don't think there's anything in particular that I say I did that or overcome that, and that's why I have a strong mindset and be able to do this. I think just a normal guy growing up in a small town in South Africa. I think that's it must have been something in my previous life that made me want to do this crazy sport. But yeah, growing up in Uppington, what an amazing place to grow up. Just to have a childhood of being a kid in a safe little town in South Africa, just enjoying life.
And I could just imagine you being tasked with carrying the groceries in from the shop, carrying the firewood, that sort of thing. New beginnings, early days for you as well. You started off as a rugby player. What was the turning point where you said, I'm going all in on strongman?
Rugby didn't turn out to be my career. Went on to have a normal 9 to 5, and then just discovered a couple of years ago that I missed being a competitive athlete, and I missed the adrenaline and just the feeling of performing on a athletic stage or in a sports stage. And yeah, with that, how can I say, missing from my life, strongman was the next thing that I decided. Let's just go for it and enjoy the process of becoming a pro strongman.
Lovely. Did anyone close to you think that you were crazy for making that leap? I'm sure Monia was very encouraging as well towards you. It's wonderful having dealt with Monia in the build-up to this interview. She's been absolutely amazing, and I would imagine that she's not only a great companion to you, but also a great facilitator and a great overseer of managing you.
Yeah, so I think when I first threw the idea around to my friends and family, immediate friends and family, it was just not a hobby, and everyone was okay, that's nice, something nice to do. But the only person that from day one really, not that other people looked down on it and said that I couldn't do something in it, but Monia from day one believed in me, and I think it's from all the times that we traveled and I needed to carry her heavy bags when we go on vacation that she saw maybe I'm a bit stronger.
Yeah.
But no, she's just lovely. I have the most supportive wife the best wife I could ever ask for to do this with.
Oh, that's fantastic, Rainer. Now, I know within just 2 years, yeah, that's a short period of time. You went from just a being a rookie, in fact, to Africa's strongest man to the world's strongest man. How did you mentally process that kind of rise in such a short period of time?
Yeah, luckily I didn't get ahead of myself. Even in competition, I'm not a guy that makes more of something than it is. I'll rather make less of something than it is, and I think that's very important in sport. As soon as you just go for glory and not enjoy the process and just focus on the next thing to do, that's where you miss the plot and not live up to your potential. So um, for me, it's each time I get onto a new stage, if it was from South Africa's Strongest Man, more international competitions, bigger international competitions, I'd like to believe that each time it's just another competition. It's to just get starstruck on the people that you compete against or the stage you compete on. You'll get yourself out of contention before the first event even started.
Yeah. What was your training regime like, Reino, heading into Worlds? Any unusual methods or philosophies that you live by?
Hard work, that's all. If I have an amazing coach, so if something's on the program, I'll do what I can. If I miss something, go back another day. Just make sure I put in the work. So I leave a lot of the thinking part in terms of what I must do to my coach, and I just plan on being able to execute what I must do.
Fantastic. You walked in as a wild card, in essence, and no one had you on their radar even. I mean, did that inspire you, fuel you, or did it add a little bit of pressure, Reino?
So to be honest, some people got me to go through to the final, and that already for me was a big like I'm a in terms of this level of strongman, I'm a nobody going into World's Strongest Man. So for people to already think that I would be able to make the final was for me quite humbling. I didn't think people thought that highly of me. So yeah, I hear a lot that no one gave me a chance to be able to win it. Of course, no one gave me a chance because I'm a wild card. Um, but yeah, going into the competition, there's a lot of people that had high hopes, especially the guys from the Strongman Champions League who I've competed against and the guys back home. So I didn't want to disappoint them. I think that's the big thing, and my family. I didn't want them to travel with me and stay up late nights to see what the results is and putting so much in, and then I underperformed that side. I think that's the only bit of pressure, but that's pressure just in the mind a bit beforehand. When I compete, there's no pressure. I mean, you have to concentrate on what you do and just execute on that.
You're a man of steel. Take us through that final event in Sacramento. What was going through your mind before the whistle blew?
Uh, yeah. So obviously, I knew what I had to do. Either get all 5 stones in any time possible, or be the fastest on getting the first 4 stones. Um, so for me, I thought about going as fast as possible to get the first 4 stones, which meant I would have won. And then I saw Mitch Hooper, who's at this stage winning everything in strongman, such an amazing athlete. Um, he did the same, gone too fast, and then missed 1 stone. And then if you miss it, not load it, you have to pick it up again, which is energy sapping stuff. So now I thought to myself, okay, I knew that I have it in myself to get all those 5 stones. So just go through the motions, do what I need to do, and get all 5 stones. And then on the last stone, I didn't get it. I extended too early, didn't get the last stone. And then it was down to, did I do the first 4 fast enough? And I didn't focus on doing them as fast as I can.
Sure.
And luckily, within a second, it was fast enough. So going into the last event, I was hyped up like I am for every single event. But I really did not think of what's the outcome after it. I just knew what I have to do and just focused on that.
Dit was eintlik naalskrapend.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's 0.5 points that I won with, and if you take it back, it's less than a second.
Yeah, unbelievable. Are you and Mitch good buddies, or do you kind of look up to him with aspiration? I know that any competitor, of course, is not always the enemy, but certainly someone that you want to beat. But do you kind of look at him and take any tips from him at all, Reino?
Yeah, look, I respect the guys that I compete against. They've done Mitch, Tom Stoltman. A lot of these guys have done amazing things. So I'm fairly new on the scene. For me to just come in and say I'm not going to learn from them, it would be just stupid to do. So no, I look up to them in terms of what they've done and how they do things. But on the same time, I'm a competitive guy. So when I'm there, I won't stargaze. I'm your competitor. I want to win you. So that's what I focus on. But no, it was nice meeting all of these guys, competing against them, and really see that they're all nice human beings and good human beings. So strongman is a sport with gentle giants. That's truly the thing.
Do they know anything about Potjie Kos or lekker braai or anything like that?
Yeah, I've introduced them to some biltong, and I'm gonna I've introduced them to biltong. So we'll take it one step one step at a time.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. Which event at WSM pushed you to your absolute limit physically or emotionally, if you had to think of it?
Yeah, look, emotionally, it wasn't like a particular person. It's just it's a tough competition. Getting excited and switching on for 10 events over 4 days, it's that's something that emotionally you get tested. But luckily, I grew into the competition. So the longer the competition went on, the better my chances were to be able to win it. So then it's easy to switch on. But in terms of testing me physically, I mean, to battle with Mitch and Tom and all of the other guys who are strongmen who've been around the block and are well respected. No, I'm still so humbled to be named in the same sentence as them. But yeah, at the end of the day, they're my competitors, and I want to fight them and I want to win them.
That's lovely. They're saying, "Oh, watch out! Here's a new man on the block, and he's absolutely exceptional." What did it feel like the moment your name was called as the champion, and what does that moment represent for Africa?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of emotions at once. I'm not a guy. I'm really not an emotional guy. I won't react and do things. But in that moment, it just naturally came to me that I was just flooded with emotions, and then a big sigh of relief, just to know that all the hard work and everything paid off. And that was nice to do. And then in terms of being the first South African and African, that's amazing. I mean, that's something that our country is a really it's strong people. I mean, from people that our rugby team performing and all of the individual sports stars performing, and also people overcoming really hard conditions and circumstances in life in Africa. So to be able to get our flag just out there and just bring some good news. I'm not like I don't want to make it bigger than it is, and they've done amazing for the country. But at least it's some good news for South Africa, and another place where we can say that, look, we're really a country that don't stand back to anyone. That's amazing to be able to have achieved.
Yeah, well put. Now, you hold a degree in electrical engineering as well. That's not your typical strongman resume, is it? I mean, how do you balance that identity with the athlete persona?
I think it's worlds apart, and that's what makes it nice for me. If I do one, it completely take my mind off the other one. So yes, I like being an engineer, and I like being in the office and to challenge my brain, and it's almost like feeling dumb a lot to learn more and try and be knowledgeable. And then at the same time, then I can go to a strongman training session and forget everything about that, and just be a in the moment, lift a heavy thing, and to exert myself in a different way. So I think it strikes a nice balance being so far apart.
That is truly remarkable. But when I listen to you and hear what you say, as you know, I mean, mental strength is often underrated in strength sports. Reino, how do you train or cultivate mental toughness?
I think it's not something that I train. It's something that I have. I'm able to switch myself on in an instant, which I don't know where it come from, but luckily I have that ability. I know how to switch off and I know how to switch on. And if there's any advice, so people ask me a lot for advice as someone new in the sport. And there's always the advice of I do believe just start and be consistent. But as you get more competitive in the sport and go on a higher stage, then the ability to be able to switch on and off, it's so important. You only have so much energy, and if you do this kind of weights, it takes a lot out of you. It fatigues your central nervous system, which fatigue your brain. So if you're not able to utilize utilize your brain energy, that the amount of energy you have for the correct things, you'll be tired. A 4-day competition, after day 3, you will have nothing left in you.
Sure. I mean, in the midst of the pressure, the setbacks, and the doubt as well, I mean, you have to really be strong internally, don't you? And that's something that you've really shown in terms of inner strength, Reino.
Yeah, definitely. But again, on that, I have an amazing team around me. So I think that's a lot to do with my coach, my wife, in this case, my in-laws traveling with me and doing all the small things for me. So I can take all the credit and say, no, I'm this emotional, strong guy who switch on and off. But to be honest, it really comes down to also the people that stay with me and taking so much of the slack for me, and I can only concentrate on competing.
Yes, I know it's very difficult for you as well. I mean, to mention so many people, because I know you're very much a team man, and always with Monya is always behind you. But there's so many other people I would imagine that are all part of that whole cog that as you've just mentioned, that give you all that support. So I don't expect you to name every person, because at the end of the day you'll miss somebody out, and then they'll say, "Ah, what
Yeah,
about me?" But
yeah. But I can, like, honestly, like, it's different levels of support. I mean, my mom um, is so supportive in her own way that when I started the sport, I think it was about 2 months in, she did so many research that she knew about guys competing in strongman that I have never even heard of. She's asking me about events and weights and stuff that that I don't know. So there's people in so many different ways supporting me. My training partners in the build up to World's Strongest Man, that even on their off days when they don't train, they would have come in and just made sure that I do everything that I must do. People like QSN, for instance, a sponsor who backed me even before I won any competitions. They provided me with the best supplements. So there's a lot of people to thank for this. Is really, I go out and compete, but to be able to have done this, I'm so blessed to have so many people that have been there for me.
wonderful. Yes, I know Albie Geldenhuys very well, and a very nice man, a very modest man, and someone that certainly will get behind someone like you and give you the opportunity to support them, and they will support you right down to every single aspect of your career going forward. Now, speaking of that, you were the first African to win this title. What does it mean to you personally, and what do you hope it means for kids, up and coming youngsters across the country?
Yeah, a funny story. I saw, for me, always when it's Cricket World Cup, all the kids play cricket. When it's Rugby World Cup, you only see rugby balls everywhere. When Driekers fight, all of a sudden the kids start eating each other in in the parky. So maybe some kids now aspire to be a strongman, which I think. I'm not always one that you must do it too early. I think you must do other sports as well. Be athletic as possible. If you only want to do strongman, be a athletic strongman. But hopefully it inspires kids. Just one more person that show you that from South Africa, you don't have to look down on our country being so far apart from, or so far from the rest of the world. We can from here fly out there and compete and actually win on international stages. So that's the thing that for me, I hope if I do inspire someone, it's just to move and be more healthy, but then also not to think that South Africa can't compete with the rest of the world. And in terms of being a South African, the first to win it, I think South Africa is a very strong country, and to have the title of the world's strongest man in South Africa, it's a very fitting thing.
How do you plan to use this platform now that you've become a global figure?
Yeah, first of all, it's a lot for me to take in. So I didn't think I'll win this year. I surprised myself also. So there's a lot of these type of questions that I also have not yet the complete answer. For me, I want to grow the sport in South Africa. I think I want to get some more eyes in South Africa, give more athletes from South Africa the opportunity to compete internationally. We have some good strongman competitors apart from myself. And then just get South Africa a good message about South Africa out there. I think we have we have such a lovely country, and I think a lot of people don't know that in the world.
True. What's next for you, Reino, both in strongman and beyond?
So I have a really stacked lineup this year. Invitations to a lot of competitions. Next weekend I'm competing in Italy. The week after that in the Netherlands. 2 weeks after that in the UK again. So I'm going to be busy, very active. I'll scale down at the end of the year, and then next year focus on a bit just the large competitions and make sure that in next year I'm a contender for all of the big competitions. This year I picked now for World's Strongest Man, and the next competitions is about experience. I'm still new in the sport. I'm not expecting myself yet to win everything, because being so new in the sport, there's a lot of events that I'm not too familiar with. So for me, I want to win all the big competitions, all the big titles there is, and then defend World's Strongest Man a couple of times. That's the ultimate plan. And then in terms of otherwise, then outside of just competing, I'll take it as it comes. For now, just enjoy this win with my wife. Maybe see what I'll do in terms of competing more regular. I still love what I do in terms of engineering. So I don't want to give up that dream as well and that aspirations. So just to strike a nice balance between being a professional strongman as well as building my career still as an engineer.
Brilliantly put. What's your favorite lift?
I like moving stuff, although deadlift is iconic to strongman and I love to do a deadlift. But I like farmer's walk, going in circle where you have a big implement in front of your chest and walk in a pivot around the pivot. Loading medley. So I like all the moving stuff. And then aesthetically pleasing and something I'm good at is truck pull. So I like that as well.
I love the truck pull. I saw that picture of you with that huge big dit was 'n groot trok gewees, hè. What is that way? I mean,
truck pull. Truck pull is a very interesting one because sometimes you pull a bakkie and it's harder than a 50-ton truck. So it's dependent on the surface and the wheel pressure and a lot of things. Yeah. If you have the initial inertia overcome to get the truck moving, then it's just a matter of are you able to keep up. But yeah, I think the heaviest truck that I've pulled with a trailer is 32 tons.
So it's not a bakkie, it's a Hilux. Yeah, I love that. The bakkie's easy for you, that's for sure. Hey? Tell me, what is your go-to pre-competition meal as well?
If I travel, I'm limited to what is available in the hotel. That's normally the thing. So I'd like to just have a nice omelette with a bit of carbs. That's the thing for me. I like the saying, honger rond is 'n wakker rond. So I don't eat too much on comp days. If it's a comp like World's Strongest Man where it's 4 days, unfortunately I can't be too hungry the whole time. Yes. Otherwise I'll burn out. But no, I'd like to eat clean before comps in the morning. Just normal breakfast with bacon, eggs.
Nice, absolutely beautiful. And you enjoy a braai there with friends and family? obviously.
Yeah, I'm as South African as you can get. So
Yeah.
no, Braai is amazing.
Fantastic. Is there one quote, Rainer, that you live by? One particular quote that inspires you, or I suppose you've got many, and
Yeah, no,
think
honestly not. Honestly not. I like to keep things balanced in my life. That's the one thing. I don't want to
about it.
focus on one thing too much and then other things dan val die pap op die grond met iets anders. So
That's right.
um yeah, no, I like to live a balanced life and then be able to give the right amount of attention to everything.
Who's the strongest person you've ever met?
um a beautiful answer is my wife.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost gave you a bell. That was my breakfast. It was lovely that I hit there when you said that. That's beautiful. I love that. And one thing that people misunderstand about you, maybe, I don't know. I've only just met you, but I feel like I've known you for ages. You're such a nice person, and it's not lovely to talk to you. But is there anything that you think that people might misunderstand you about you, Rainer?
Yeah, I think not really. I'm just a normal guy. Just an everyday South African who just go through life, love family values, etc. But I think the big thing is I like to compete, and I think I'm a friendly guy. But as soon as it gets to real business, and I need to do what I need to do, I have the ability to switch on. And I think that's maybe the best or the biggest secret to my success is being able to be a normal guy, but as soon as the pressure is on and I need to perform, I know where to go and dig deep and get that.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you might like to add in conclusion to what we've just spoken about? Anything you want to talk about?
No, not really. I think the biggest thing is just I can always just say thank you for everyone who supports me so much and who takes this victory as their own. So I'm really blessed by the people immediately around me, and also I'm very blessed to be a South African.
I suppose I could say, may you go from strength to strength as you in your future endeavors. Tell me a little bit about where you're staying now, and all just all the attraction that you must be getting. I suppose when you go out to the shops and things like that, life has changed. Or if you go out with Monia for something to eat as well, people are coming up to you. They're demanding a lot of your time, that sort of thing. But the humble guy that you are, you'll give them that time. But sure, certainly life changing, Rainer.
Yeah, so I live in Kreersdorp at the moment. Been here for 3-4 years now. And no, I mean, for me, just a normal guy having all of the support, it's amazing. It isn't a hassle for me at all. It's just so humbling to know that there's people that want to support me and want to follow my journey going forward. So yeah, no, it's life definitely changes or changed overnight for me. But I mean, it's nice to know that everything that I've done that it means something. So no, I just enjoy every single second of it, and there's nothing for me to complain about.
Fantastic. Rainer, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. Thank you for giving us up your valuable time. It means the world to us as well here on Beyond the Glory. And I've no doubt that there'll be millions watching this podcast. Hopefully, it's quite optimistic around the world, but wanting to see the real Rainer, albeit in 30 minutes or so. But certainly, it's been great getting to know you, getting to chat to you, and the humbleness about you is something very, very special. And I think that we see that in life, how important it is to be humble in everything that we do. Certainly does make a huge, big difference, like you making a difference as well. Just finally, music point of view, I just wanted to ask you any particular music that you enjoy. Do you enjoy a lot of Afrikaans music? I was chatting to one of the rugby players at the Emirates Lions the other day, the Golden Lions, and Jaco Versaghi, very nice guy. He's captained the team on numerous occasions. He said to me, "Yeah, only van Afrikaanse musiek nie." To me, that was actually quite interesting. But lovely guy, and certainly loves his music. But they say, luister nie na Afrikaanse musiek.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. Ek hou baie van Afrikaans.
That's lekker.
Yeah, so Afrikaans and country. I like to listen to country as well.
Yeah. and you listen to a bit of Kurt Darren?
My wife is probably the biggest Kurt Darren fan there is. So if ever I don't think we're people that are starstruck, but I think if ever we meet Kurt Darren, she would not be able to get a word out.
Love you. Well, to you, Reino, to Monia, your wonderful wife, and all your wonderful friends as well. May you just continue, like I said, to go from strength to strength. And thank you for joining me on Beyond the Glory. The world's strongest man is something that I will also always cherish as having had on the show here. And everything of the best to you, Reino. Baie dankie. En goed gaan verder.
Dankie, John. Dankie vir jou tyd. Ek waardeer.
Dis 'n groot plesier. Thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Glory. We appreciate every listen, like, and share. It means the world. Be sure to follow us on social media and keep the conversation going. And if you haven't already, check out our band link at https://band.link/Beyond Glory, full stop. And that's where you'll find all our latest episodes, platforms, and more. Stay locked in. More inspiring stories and powerful moments are coming your way. Until next time, keep pushing beyond the glory.